Very good evening to everyone and welcome to this next in our Music Revival online series. This is Christopher Dyken coming to you Wednesday the 6th of July. It's a very cool evening in this part of the world. It's been cloudy and a little bit overcast the whole day, but I've got some very lovely music. I hope you're going to be able to join me for the next hour for a selection of very calm, quite gentle, quite flowing, some very attractive melodies, I think. Music by Beethoven, as well as some new surprises, some new music for you. I'll be playing from 17th, 18th century Baroque composers, a little bit of a gentle Scott Joplin, and to end off with some Tchaikovsky, some contemporary pieces, and a little improvisation right at the end. And of course, no sooner as I start talking than one little pudding has arrived in the room. Here is little Luce. Got to give me a wake. Come, little Lucy. There we go. Hello, little Luce. Hello, Lucy Lou. How are you doing today? And Luce, now, dare we ask, what have you been doing today? Anything? No, just nothing. Just nothing at all. That's what Luce does on a cold day. Nothing, just stays in bed underneath the duvet. Oh, little Wendy Pops come through too. Yes, you've all come out of the bed. You've been in the duvet the whole day and you've had your dinner. But you're ready for some music because you know that this evening I've been preparing some very lovely tunes that you recognize. Yes, from your music appreciation classes. Hello, Wendy Pop. I'm going to chat to you. Oh, Wendy Pop wants to come say hello. Wendy Pop's also desperate to come say hello. Hello, Wendy Pop with the waggy tail. Oh, you're also so warm because you've been in the duvet in the bed. Yes, you want to scratch. Little Wendy Pop. I mean, we can't have a Wednesday live stream piano hour without little poppets, Pudding Lucy, a little Lucy of the live stream queen, and little Wendy Pop. Now, before I even start, I'd like to share, it's always interesting little details that how the live streams connect me with various people and around the world. And I'd like to share something with you that my friend Maria, very generously, Maria, who's a friend of mine here in this part of the world, has been on a trip to Europe recently and went to Bulgaria, where her family still lives. And then had a little trip to Norway and went to the Edvard Grieg Museum in Bergen. And Kevin's going to bring up a little, I think it's a Christmas decoration, which Maria very kindly brought back for me as a gift, which we're going to show to you right now. And this is, I mean, what an amazing gift. What an amazing gift from my friend, really from the Grieg Museum, Bergen itself, a little relic of the Grieg visit there. And of course then another detail, a little, well, it's actually a manuscript. I mean, it's quite an incredible little, fascinating little detail. This is a manuscript of one of Grieg's pieces, which very cleverly, I mean, what a wonderful idea, very cleverly is actually printed onto a piece of fabric, a piece of microfiber, which miraculously is going to appear from the picture. And then here it is here. This is something that everyone needs, a piece of microfiber to clean your glasses, something that I end up doing a lot. And it's a Grieg manuscript microfiber glasses cleaner. How cool is that? So thank you, Maria, from the Grieg Museum in Bergen, Norway, two lovely little Grieg tokens, Grieg memorabilia. How wonderful. So of course I am going to start this evening's program with two compositions from Grieg. In fact, I am going to play that manuscript piece itself, which you can see here. So printed on this piece of fabric. And that itself is the opening page of Morgen or Morning Mood from Grieg's Peer Gynt suite, the piano version, and I'm going to start at that. I'm then going to play a very famous and very lovely Wedding Day at Trollhaugen, which Grieg wrote for his wife as a wedding anniversary, I think for their 25th wedding anniversary. Very celebratory piece, very authentic and just a wonderfully exuberant idea. Again with unique Norwegian folk influences it. And then the last piece, keeping with a sort of a rustic element, this time by Scott Joplin, something a little bit different, not quite a ragtime, but a piece called Solace, or a Mexican Serenade. So it's a very relaxed Mexican piece, but within Scott Joplin's own ragtime idiom. like that piece. Solace, a Mexican serenade, just such a beautiful siesta atmosphere, really to really just calm down in the quiet of the afternoon or the evening as we are. Solace by a Mexican serenade by the African-American composer Scott Joplin. And before that, I started the program with two pieces by Edvard Grieg, his morning moods from Peer Gynt, and then the very brilliant Wedding Day at Traalhaugen. Now I'm going to move on to three new pieces, which I haven't, well, I've played one once before, which I'm very fascinated, but these are three quite rare pieces of music. First of all, a Scarlatti Sonata, rather unusual Scarlatti Sonata in F sharp major, and this is not one of the brilliant finger twisting pieces of Scarlatti. This is a very resplendent and I think quite relaxed piece of music, which has some beautiful harmonies and beautiful textures, which if we translate them to the piano in a very contemporary or even romantic way, I think they sound very beautiful. Second piece I'm going to play for you is a very new discovery beat for a new composer, Antoine Forqueray, who was a contemporary of Marin Marais' 18th century Versailles, the Palace of Versailles. And Forqueray himself was a viola da gamba player, kind of early kind of cello. And this is a very beautiful piece called La Silva, very quiet, very gentle, but very stately, very royal atmospheric dance. The composer himself was well known for his very brilliant and quite aggressive performance at the instrument. But this certainly represents something very much more gentle and very delicate. And then the third of the pieces, a piece that I did play recently, but I'm absolutely fascinated from Jean-Philippe Rameau, from Le Boreade, a ballet opera that he wrote, and this is the Hours, I think it's called The Arts and the Hours, very beautiful, very wonderful orchestral piece, but which has been transcribed for piano, and I just can't get enough of it. It's so beautiful just to play these wonderful harmonies and chords. And here, look, here's Frida and Lucy Pop coming through to say hello. Come girls, in your basket, quietly, very well behaved they are tonight. Very good, very good, Lucy. more magical music. I really love that piece. I don't know why I'm so fixated by it. I haven't stopped playing it since I discovered it a few weeks ago. From Rameau's La Boreade, a beautiful piece. I'm not quite sure what the exact title is. It's come up on the screen, but it's different to what's on my page. And before that, you heard from Antoine Forqueray, La Silva, a beautiful piece there. Very gentle, very atmospheric court dance music, you might say. And starting off with Scarlatti Sonata in F sharp major, very beautiful piece. Really, what beautiful music and new discoveries and pieces that I hope to be playing quite regularly again. I'm going to move on to two compositions by Beethoven. Now, at the end of this month, I'm going to be playing a major classical program again. Last Saturday, I played my end of the month concert from June, which included the Dante Sonata of Liszt and Mozart Sonata in A minor. And thank you for all the positive comments and emails and WhatsApps that I've received, because so many people commented how they enjoyed that. And it went very well. It just shows what happens when I've got time to practice and prepare these programs better. So at the end of July or beginning of August, I will be playing music by Beethoven, including the Sonata Pathétique. And so I'd like to give you a little bit of a forecast of this now. I would like to play the last movement, the third movement from the Sonata Opus 13, the Pathétique. We often hear the second slow movement, but this is the wonderful rondo. Very charming and very early Beethoven, but you really get that sense of drama in the young composer. And then after that, another beautiful composition of his I like from the Sonata in E flat, Opus 31, number 3, a wonderful minuet, which just has a very resplendent, very beautiful melody, a really richly scored melody that even little Lucy is very fond of. Hey, Luce. fascinating piece there, the Minuet from the Sonata in E flat, Opus 31, number 3 by Beethoven. Rather quirky, enigmatic, really enigmatic, but with so many brilliant, I think, wonderful ideas and that beautiful melody, which I think is something so special about it. Before that, the last movement from Beethoven Sonata, Opus 13, the Pathetique. I'm going to end off this evening's music with 3 very contrasting, but very, I think, pieces that will work quite well together. It seems this time of year, this music by Tchaikovsky seems to always crop into my head. I don't know why. It's July, well, it's June, this piece of music, June, but something about, even though this is written for the Northern Hemisphere and the month of June is a beautiful month of summer, Tchaikovsky writes this very melancholic music, and there's something about July which always brings it to my attention, the atmosphere this time of year. And it's a romance, it's a barcarolle, it's water music, but there's something very haunting and very deeply felt about, I think, with all of Tchaikovsky's music, but particularly this piece from the Seasons. Straight after that, a little piece by the Italian contemporary composer Ludovico Einaudi called Due Tramonti, or Two Sunsets, which I really like. And then I'm going to end off with an improvisation, or a piece which I improvised about 2 years ago, almost coming up for August 2 years ago. One of these improvisations which sort of hung around, and I quite like it. It's a lovely rippling atmosphere, very gentle, positive sound, very nice atmosphere, and I'm going to try and recreate something of that to end off this evening's program. What do you think? Luce, do you think that's a good idea? Do you want to come? Lucy keeps coming back to say hello every time I talk. Hello, little Luce, how are you feeling? And which of the pieces have you liked best so far? Oh yes, I know that you thought the French music, the Baroque 17th century French music, because you've seen that, you learnt about that in your education on Versailles at Switzerland Finishing School. Huh? That's when you learnt about Versailles, and you learnt about all the composers that were attached, and you recognized some of those tunes. Yes, you even took some viol da gamba lessons once. Oh, Luce, that was very complicated with those little paws. Yes, well, it's all sorts of things happen in Switzerland Finishing School, huh? Things we don't even know about. Right, so here we go. Tchaikovsky, Einaudi, and one of my own pieces. improvisation based on an improvisation. Always difficult to come back to an original idea, try and find it and try and see where it is, but always find yourself in a new place and make something up of that. So that was one of my own improvisations, an idea that I quite liked. I quite liked that textural, rippling layering there. And it was before that I played a piece by Ludovico Einaudi, Duet Tramonti, Two Sunsets, and starting off with Tchaikovsky's June from the Seasons. That, of course, does bring us to an end in this evening session. We've gone a little bit over time, but I hope you've enjoyed the selection of music, something which is very gentle, calming, perhaps even reassuring, maybe even uplifting, who knows. Someone who's going to be uplifting in a little minute, of course, is little Frida. Here we go, Fried, we haven't seen you, we haven't seen you this evening, that's for sure. How's little Frida doing? Yes, Frida's doing very well. Oh, you got beautiful, oh, you love the scratches. Yes, Frida always loves being scratched. Oh, you love twisting your neck. Yeah, Frida. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you, Kevin, for the technical support once again tonight. Oh, Frida, you're doing a big back bend. You want to go to yoga? Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you've enjoyed the selection of music. Obviously, my next stream will be on the Saturday. That's not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday. Our stream's now taking place, changing it slightly, on the first and third Saturday and Wednesday of each month. If you are supporting me, please do make sure that, especially if you are doing EFTs and regular bank transfers, that you include your name and detail on the transfer, because as from next month, we are definitely going to have, or end of this month in fact, are definitely going to have a number of extra sessions behind the scenes and performance sessions, which are only going to be available to a number of regular paying subscribers. You'll find more details about that, how to become a member of Music Revival now, as you might call it, and you'll receive a password to a private page on our website, which a number of these selections will be available to only to those who are supporting me regularly. So I look forward to seeing you next week Saturday. Look after yourselves, stay well, keep warm in this time of year. Going to play out with a little improvisation. Lucy's desperate to come and say hello. Come on, Luce. Yes, Luce. Oh, yes, yes. Which one? Yes, you enjoyed all that. Oh, you thought it was very successful. You thought you actually liked to be lying. You were lying down outside, just enjoying all the music and the gentle sounds. Yes, you were with Frida and Wendy, and everything's perfect. Everything is just happy and blissful. Thanks, Luce. Thanks for reminding us of that. Look forward to seeing you then. Keep well. Come on, Frida. I'm going to sit on your tail. Come on.